Hello friends, welcome to Code Mummy. Today, let's see the bubble sort algorithm. A bubble sort algorithm is a simple sorting algorithm in which adjacent elements are compared and the elements are swapped if they are not in a correct order. So what does this mean? Let's take an example. This is an array, input array, consisting of 5 elements. So n is equal to 5. So first of all, what is sorting? A sorting is a process in which the elements are sorted in the increasing order or arranged in an increasing order. This is the sorted array. So now let's apply this bubble sort algorithm on this array. So first we'll compare the adjacent elements, and if they don't follow the increasing order, we'll swap them, right? So first we'll compare 11 and 19. As 19 is greater than 11, we won't swap them, and we'll keep the elements in the same order. Next, we'll compare 19 and 7. As 19 is greater than 7, we'll swap them. Next, we'll compare 19 and 9. As 19 is again greater than 9, we'll swap them. Now we'll compare 19 and 2. Here again 19 is greater than 2, so we'll swap them. So now we have compared the adjacent elements, and at the end the largest element in the array has bubbled at the end of the array. So like this we compared and we got one element arranged. So this is our phase 1. So next in our phase 2 we'll have 11, 7, 9, 2, 19. Again in the phase 2 we'll do the same procedure. First we'll compare 11 and 7. As 11 is greater than 7, we'll swap them. We'll compare 11 and 9. As 11 is greater than 9, we'll swap them. Here again we'll compare 11 with 2. As 11 is greater than 2, we'll swap them. So after this, the two elements are sorted order or in the correct order. This is our phase 2. So this is our array. Now we'll see the phase 3. We'll take the same elements 7, 9, 2, 11 and 19. Now again in the phase 3, this is our phase 3. We'll compare 7 and 9. As 7 is smaller than 9, we don't require here to swap any elements. Right? So we'll keep the element same. Now 9 and 2 are compared. As 9 is greater than 2, we'll swap them. So 3 elements are arranged in the correct order. This or phase 3. So let's take the same elements. Here we'll compare again 7 and 2. As 7 is greater than 2, we'll swap them. As the array is sorted, we don't require any more swaps, right? So these 4 array elements are arranged in the sorted order after the phase 4. Our n was equal to 5. So how many phases did we require for n is equal to 5? We required n minus 1 phases. That is 4 phases, right? At the end of the phase 4, we see that these 4 elements are arranged in the sorted order. And this element doesn't need any sorting because it will be in the sorted position only. So let us look at the each phases. So in this array, we had 5 elements, right? So in each phase, how many swaps did we require? We required 1, first here 1, 2, 3, 4. So we required n minus 1, that is 4 swaps, right? In the phase 2, where n is equal to 5, we required 1, 2, 3, n minus 2, that is 3 swaps, right? In the phase 3, we required n minus 3 swaps, that is 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 swaps, 1 and 2. In the last phase, we required n minus 4, that is 1 swaps, right? So let us apply this logic in the code. Let us quickly write the code for the bubble sort. Let's take a function int bubble. Let's pass the array and the number of elements. Now first we will take a for loop. We'll require 2 loops here. First loop. So why we require 2 loops? First loop will require for these phases, right? We have 4 phases. Our n was 5 and we required 4 phases. So number of phases will be n minus 1. If we have 10 elements, that is our n is equal to 10, then we will require n minus 1, that is 9 phases. So I is smaller than n minus 1 and I plus plus, right? We'll require another for loop for the comparisons. So inside one for loop, we'll require another for loop for these comparisons, right? That's why int j equal to 0 and j smaller than, see, we had n equal to 5 and in the phase 1 we required 1, 2, 3, 4 comparisons, n minus 1. In the second phase we required 1, 2, 3, n equal to 3 comparisons. Our n was 5 and we required 3 comparisons in phase 2. We see that in every phase, as our as your I increases, the number of comparisons keep decreasing. So we should take j smaller than n minus 1 minus I and j plus plus. So we are decreasing I here every time, right? First, in this first phase, our n was 5 and n minus 1 minus I is, here I is 0, right? Phase 1 I is 0. So n minus 1 minus 0 gives us 4. In phase 2, our I is 1 and n is 5. So n minus 1 minus I, that is 1 minus 1, n minus 2 equal to 3. So that's why we took n minus 1 minus I. And inside this, if what did we do? We compared these elements. So if a of I is greater than a of j plus 1, a of j, because our j pointer is for comparisons, right? So a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. If this is greater than this, we will swap them. A of j comma a of j plus 1. So we'll close the for loop here, both the for loops, and end the loop. So this is how our bubble sort works. The time complexity of this algorithm is O of n square, as we require 2 loops here. So how we will optimize this, and why do we require optimization? We see that if our n was 10, we required n minus 1, that is 9 phases. N is equal to 5, we require n minus 1 is equal to 4 phases. So every time our n is something, we will require n minus 1 phases. But there may be many cases in which if our n was 10 and we may require only 3 phases, or we may require only 4 phases to sort the array. There may be many cases, right? So to stop this, what we'll do is, every time we enter a new phase, we'll check if the array is already sorted. And if the array is already sorted, we will break the for loop and come out of the loop, right? So how we will do? Every time we enter a phase, this loop is for phase, right? So we'll declare some pointer. Let's take int s is equal to 0. This is just a variable. So int s is equal to 0. So every time I enter a for loop, every time I enter the phase, I'll declare a variable 0. And so I took s is equal to 0 for every phase. That is, every time it enters the first phase or the second phase, our s will become 0. So inside the first for loop, I have declared s is equal to 0. And inside the if statement, I have made the s is equal to 1. That is, if there is any swapping, I'll make s equal to 1. And if there is no swapping, our s will remain 0. If there is no swapping, that means that the array is already sorted. So after this for loop, that is the second for loop, I will check if our s is still equal to 0. If our s is still equal to 0, I will break the for loop, right? This break statement is used to break the for loop, and the program or the for loop will end here, right? It won't go further till the 9 phases. If our array is already sorted in the third phase, it will stop here. That's how we optimize it. Code and notes for all this will be provided in the description. Thank you.